Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for before the 90 days, 90 Day Fiancé. What episode is this, y'all? I'm so behind. I'm so behind on everything. Well, it's the latest one. It's let me get it. It's episode number 7 called Maybe in Another Life. Maybe in Another Life. So this episode was interesting. We had Adnan and Tiger Lily trying to make up because she up here jumping out the car and running around, and they got to chase after her. They got to calm her down, tell her about this Muslim culture, about how she said it's a double standard. Yeah, it's a double standard. You don't do no reading, don't talk to nobody before you marry into a whole new culture. That's so odd to me. But they was in a beautiful place, Petra. I've always wanted to go to Petra. I almost went because we did take a trip to Israel, and they had like these sort of day trips you could take from Israel to Petra. It was only going to be but it was going to be a long day. It's like I think it's like 4 or 5 hours to get to Petra. So we decided not to do it. We decided to say, you know what? Next time we come this way, we will go just over there to Jordan to see Petra and other things. But beautiful to see the scenery that they covered that for us. So even if I never make it, that was nice to see. But it's always been on my bucket list, always. And yeah, Tiger Lily's all upset over these different rules. She's so naive, y'all. She's just so naive. But I'm still kind of rooting for them, you guys. I hope they make it. I don't know what this is all about. I don't know how you're going to make it. Him and Jordan and her in the U.S. Come to find out that he has to still apply, of course, for his visa. Who knows? Maybe that's why he married her. Oh, let me stop saying that man got bad intentions. Let me just stop saying it. Because he sure is heartbroken over her anytime she's mad. So he does show genuine concern. And the friends are bringing up these points talking about how you going to feel when she's back in the U.S. and you here, and what's she doing and what's she wearing and how she moving and shaking. And, how's that going to make you feel? And she on her way back to the U.S. I guess we're going to see real soon how it works out, because I think this episode was her last night there. And then once again, they rode some camels. Me and these doggone camels. I don't know, we seen all these shows where people are riding camels. I'm telling y'all. Do it for yourself, but it ain't that good of an experience. But hey, that's just me. And then we got to watch the wild child, Renee, here with Chidi. She's horrible. Good riddance, Renee. Good riddance. She done come to a whole country, Nigeria, acting a fool. Acting a fool like she owns this man's body. Really, y'all, what is she upset about? She's this upset because Chidi doesn't want to sleep with her or go to a hotel room. This is why she's upset, if you think about it, because she can't have that man's body. That's why she's so upset. She up here screaming and yelling, talking about she's moving back to a hotel, and if he don't want to come, then she's going to go anyway. And she keeps saying, you need to be a man, be a man. And so she's up here preparing to pack and everything, and she's cursing at the man, telling him this is BS. He said, well, give me a moment. Let me gather myself overnight, and then I'll let you know. He's stalling for time. She said, what you got to gather up? He said, I got to gather up my clothes and stuff. She says, you ain't got shit to gather up. You ain't got but a couple of pants and a couple of shirts in there. Renee is horrible. She's so horrible. She said, you just stalling for time and lying to me. He said he trying to avoid temptation, y'all. He trying to be a good Christian, be faithful to his vow to God. And Renee over here is just acting a doggone fool up here in Nigeria. She done lost her mind, y'all. And she over here telling me, you got to ask your mommy and daddy for everything, talking about the sister and the brother-in-law. And she says, I feel like an intruder over here. I feel like an intruder in this house. And I feel like an intruder in your pants. I said, where does this woman come up with this stuff? Where does she come up with this? An intruder in his pants. And she says, I'm over here. You ought to be thankful for what I'm doing for you. I'm trying to break you free. Break free? You act like he's in a hostage situation with his sister and his brother-in-law. The hostage situation will be over there with you because the way you talk, and this is all about sex and lust and everything, Renee. That's all this is about. Like you own him, like you his master. Ooh. I'm telling you, the worst thing he could, she don't need to be with no blind man because she would definitely abuse him. She would abuse him. She telling him to shut up and everything. The brother-in-law is coming in the room talking about, girl, calm down. You need to calm down. And she starts cursing at the sister, the man's wife. And the brother-in-law says, listen, you can't talk to my wife like this. You got to stop talking to my wife like this, Renee. And then Renee looks over at Chidi and says, look, Chidi, you need to take up for me too. He taking up for his wife. You need to take up for me. You better stick up for me and be a man. That brother-in-law is saying, Renee, why are you leaving? You don't want to destroy a relationship over 5 years. What I don't get is why is Chidi and this brother-in-law trying to get Renee to stay? Don't you see how wild this woman is? You need to be holding the door open for her, let alone helping her move her bags out, not telling her to stay. It must be for the check. It must be for the TLC check because it sure is bringing some money into the house and they don't want to lose no hotel guest. Because I tell you, they begging her a little bit too much to say, and I will be like, girl, bye. Let me get the door for you. Let me get the door. She says she done. She says, I love you, but I'm done with you, and you will never, ever see me again. Going back to them chickens, Renee. Don't nobody care. Go on back to those chickens. Chidi say he loves her. He really does love her. He says, but he does not like the way that she behaves. If he could see her facial expressions, if he could see that finger waving in her face, I think he would feel completely different. I think he would feel completely different. He's saying, why must I choose between my family and you? Why can't we all just get along? Chidi, that's what we say here in America. Why can't we all just get along from the Rodney King days? Can't we all just get along and have peace? No, we can't have no peace when it comes to crazy chicken lady Renee. And talk about getting along and getting second chances. It looks like Faith is going to give Lauren a second chance. Why, Faith? Why, Faith? I like you, Faith. I really like you. I've been rooting for you. And I was really hoping that you would have stood up to Lauren and said, no second chances. But one thing I got to give Lauren is honest. He ain't going to lie to her. He tells her the truth. He said, you know what? I told you I was sleeping with people. And she said, oh, I thought that meant you were just sleeping over somebody's house. No, he's sleeping over the house and sleeping with them both. But he ain't all the way honest because he still ain't told her that he originally wanted an open relationship. So I can't give him credit for being completely honest because he's been lying about a lot of other things. So let me take that back. But he was giving it to her the truth now. And he was saying, yep. And all the questions she asked, he answered. He said, how often are you having sex? He said once a week. Just let you know it's once a week. And I do think he's telling another lie when he's saying he's going to be monogamous with her and only her. I don't believe it. Maybe if he were there with her in the Philippines, maybe. But he going back to the U.S. and please, Lauren can't keep it in his pants. He cannot keep it in his pants. But now he done lied to her and told her, listen, I'm not going to cheat on you with anyone else. It's just going to be me and you. And I still want to meet your friends. And I still want to be introduced as your boyfriend, but Faith said, no, I'm not going to call you my boyfriend, but I will call you my friend. And that's what you're going to have to settle for. I'll give you a second chance. So he's happy about that. So I guess next week we'll see him, going to meet the friends. He done messed up. But Faith, you didn't need to give him no second chance. You did not need to give him no second chance. And then we got a new couple. We end up getting Vanja and Bojo from Croatia. He's starting to already turn out to be kind of a bust. She a belly dancer. She eats fire. She a belly dancer. She like a Jamaican. She got 5 jobs. She's a belly dancer. She eats fires. She's a makeup artist. She's a vegan baker. And she's a medical sales rep. And she is a virgin for 6 years. She had some heartbreak in her life. She said that she was engaged to a man and he was living a double life. Shoot, we dealing with that over there. Love is Blind, a double life. What is this about folks leading double lives? She was engaged to a whole man. Come to find out, he had a whole nother life. She caught him cheating with another woman on her couch. So she's been single for 6 years, hasn't really been involved with no man. And now she's decided to re-enter the world of dating. And she decides to enter it with a guy from Croatia she's never met. But when she met him, she hooked up with him. Well, no, she didn't hook up with him. She noticed him when she was visiting Bosnia. And she was on the dating app. And she swiped on him. But they never did get to meet in person. But they've been talking ever since. And now she's finally ready to go over to Croatia and meet him. I've done a lot of traveling in my world. I've been to Croatia too. I'll tell you a Croatia story when I went years ago. They're not used to seeing black people, that's for sure. They were not used to seeing no black people, y'all. We got over to Croatia. We was walking around in Croatia. Then people was coming up to us, black people. Who went to Croatia with me? Actually, it was me, my mom, and some other people. My husband wasn't there. And those people were touching my face, touching my skin. I think I had my travel braids in. They was touching my braids. They was off the chain. They really didn't ever saw no black people. And they was just fascinated, just staring and everything. But that was years ago. So maybe now there's a lot more black people that have traveled to Croatia. So maybe they're not as like this, coming up to you, touching your hair. And they don't even ask, can they touch your hair? Can they touch their skin? They just come right up and start doing it. I'd be like, what's going on? I'm not no animal and no petting zoo. What's going on? It was really, really kind of weird, y'all. But anyway, so now Vondra's on her way to Croatia. She's scared because she's been trying to contact this man. She can't contact him because last time this happened where he wasn't answering his phone, come to find out, he also had another girlfriend, another double lifer, a double lifer. He was up here talking to Vondra, but I guess he had another girlfriend in Croatia. He was avoiding her calls and finally told her, listen, I can't date you no more because I got a woman here in Croatia. So they broke up. Then after a couple of months, he and that woman in Croatia broke up. So he doubled on back to Vondra and was like, hey, Vondra, I'm doubling back. That relationship was a bust. Are you still available? And this girl said, yes, I'm still available. Oh, my gosh. Girl, you teaching this man that he can put you on and off a shelf. On and off a shelf. When he wants a bite, he takes you off. When he's tired of eating what you have to offer, he puts you back on the shelf. So now here she is back on again with this guy, Bojo. She's flying to Croatia, 17, 18-hour flight, wherever she going. And she's trying to reach him, let him know, baby, I'm on my way. Baby, I'm on my way. And he ain't answering the phone. So she crying again in the airport. She crying again in the airport because she's like, oh no, is he about to dump me again? Did he find another woman? Okay. But I tell you right now, the person who ain't getting dumped is this love relationship going on between Matilda and Niles. They going strong, y'all. They are going strong. And I'm rooting for this couple too. I'm really, really rooting for them. And they opened up the scene in the hotel room and they said, Matilda said, is this the first time of you eating the foo-foo? And at first I was like, ooh, Matilda, what you talking about? Niles ate the foo-foo last night? I didn't know what the hell foo-foo was. And then she said, then we find out, no, he was in the bathroom on the toilet. Because I guess the foo-foo might have been them snails he was eating. I told you he was chowing down on them snails the night before. And now he's sitting there on the toilet. I guess that was the foo-foo. I got it all wrong, Matilda. I'm sorry. But Matilda was on my page anyway because she was like, why you refused me sex last night? She said, why did you refuse me sex last night? And I was like, Matilda, you was the one that said you didn't want to have sex before marriage. Now you over here jumping down the throat of Niles talking about why did you refuse sex? And Niles told us a little story, y'all. Niles must have got it going on because he told us a story that his last relationship, once he had sex with the woman couldn't get enough of him. She couldn't get enough of him. She became possessed. She wanted more and more from him. The woman wanted it every day, 5-6 times a day. And Niles said, listen, we're not made to be doing this 5-6 times a day. Maybe 2 times a week, but 5-6 times in a day. Niles said this woman wanted she wanted to devour him, eat him up. Well, Niles, I think you done found another one because Matilda is ready to go. Matilda is ready to go. When they were sitting on that couch and she was leaning on him, her hand was coming closer and closer to his thing. I thought Matilda was going to grab his thing on camera. It was coming real close to grabbing his thing. I was like, this is hilarious. Matilda is something else. She's something else. She walking around at the beach with her fishnets on. We thought you took fishnets to the beach to catch the fish. Nah, Matilda is wearing shorts and fishnets to the beach. Girl, go ahead and grab that thing, Matilda. Grab that thing. And she's so excited about her wedding. She talking about this 200 people coming, pastors, friends, family. This is going to be a big wedding. This is an African wedding. Africans have big weddings. She said, we got to do this knocking ceremony where you got to come knock on the door and ask for my family's permission to marry me. And then after that, we're going to have the traditional wedding. And Niles is like, well, how much is the bride price? That's what I'm telling you, Niles. It's going to be your get out of jail free card. As soon as they tell you the bride price, say you ain't got it. Say you ain't got it and you need a little bit more time to get it together. And Matilda said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry your pretty little brain over that. Your pretty little heart over that. I got that all worked out with my family. You're going to have a whole grocery Amazon list for that family, Niles, when you get there. And then that's when you can postpone the wedding. Once you see the whole list that Matilda's family is going to give you, then you can postpone the wedding. But he said, you know what? Let me butter her up before I drop this big news that I need to postpone the wedding. So he takes her shopping. They go to some fancy store. Matilda done took him to the fanciest store in Ghana because there was a whole lot of street vendors she could have got a dress from. But she said, no, I'm going to this fancy place because I need me a nice dress. And she ended up getting a skirt for this knocking ceremony. And it ended up being $80. And Niles was like, ooh, I don't know if I can be spending $80 on a skirt. You know, he from Mobile, Alabama. Ain't that where he from, Mobile? $80 on a skirt. I didn't think it was that much, but I guess if you think about it, you in Ghana, you probably could have gotten a nice skirt for $20. But hey, we definitely high end. He going high end. And he plops down the $80. He takes her to go get her nails done, and then he's going to go over there and he's looking for the ring. He's going to get a ring because he's going to propose to her. He's going to propose to Matilda because he says he proposed on the phone, but he want to do it right with a ring, with a nice ring. Well, that brother-in-law had told him, don't hide nothing from Matilda because she got a temper. So we'll see how it happens when he has to postpone the wedding. We'll see if Matilda can keep it together. I sure hope she can keep it together. I really can. But the last couple that's going bust looks like Brian and Ingrid. I do not like this relationship at all. And I think we're finding out that Ingrid might be doing a lot of stuff for the cameras. I think Brian is trying to expose her for she's acting one way in front of the cameras, but behind the cameras is a whole nother story. But that's okay because I don't like Brian either. He been lying. But this episode, we get to see that Ingrid said, you know what? I'm not going to introduce you to my family, but I will let you meet my friends. And then those friends were kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. They was kind of weird. All they was asking about was the sex portion. It's almost like they just want to hear how it's like to have sex with a person in a wheelchair. They really kind of they low-key kind of making fun of Brian. I don't know if Brian realized it. But all these questions about the sex really was them being curious about what can he really do in the bedroom. This was a conversation they should have had with Ingrid by herself, not in front of Brian. But he's so dumb and ridiculous and thinks so highly of himself, he found it cute. I wouldn't have found it cute, not at all. But then, of course, you know, he's sitting over there talking about how beautiful Ingrid is. And then he starts boasting once again, talking about normally when I come to Brazil, because all my other girlfriends have been Brazilian. Every time I come to Brazil, right away, I'm in the bed. I'm in the bed with them straight up on day one. Why are you telling this story, Brian? I don't like him one bit. And then they get back to the hotel room, and he says, I brought you something. And she says, what? He brings out some little thong panties and some nice, sexy lingerie. And he says, yeah, put this on so I can rub some butter all over you, some butter lotion all over your body so we can get this night popping. So Ingrid goes in there, puts on her lingerie, got her butt all exposed and everything, and he rubbing all over her, putting rubbing lotion all over her, kissing her belly. And I'm thinking, oh, it's about to get on and cracking. It's about to get on and cracking up in this room. I guess we're going to figure out, did that half of Viagra really work or what's going on? But lo and behold, next thing you know, they cut the scene. And next thing you know, we see a little blurb that says, 1 hour later, it didn't take but 1 hour later, they was in an argument. They was fussing and fighting. Ingrid done left the hotel room. And Brian's out here wheeling himself outside the hotel room, trying to take a break. Come to find out that after the cameras left, they was about to get down and dirty. And Ingrid said, do you have a condom? And Brian says, no, I don't have no condom. What? You didn't bring no condom? So you brought Viagra, but no condom. What was you thinking? You was just going to raw dog it? Probably didn't bring no condom because I don't even know if he can really stick it in, Ingrid. I don't know if he can really stick it in, or he might be trying to tell you, Ingrid, that, well, one is he can't get no woman pregnant, but the other part of it about it is that we do got STDs. Talk to Lauren. We do got STDs. So I want to know why he didn't even think to bring a condom. Why? Because you were thinking you can't get no woman pregnant anyway? Was it because you was thinking you wanted to get your thing sucked on without a condom? Was it thinking because you saying you ain't got no STDs? What's going on? But no matter what's going on, that's when Ingrid said, well, I'm not having no sex without no condom. And seems reasonable to me. Seems reasonable to say to me, Ingrid. And then he says, well, let me just do oral. Let me do oral on you. And Ingrid said, no, I don't even want that. I don't want that either. And next thing you know, he was hotter than fish grease. He got a temper, y'all. He got a temper. No wonder he got into street fights, because Brian has an ego and he has a temper. And when she said, not only do I not want your ding-a-ling in me, I don't want your tongue on me, he was hotter than fish grease. Hotter than fish grease. And she said, you're going to need to wait a little bit longer. You don't come here unprepared. And I don't like the fact that you came here without a condom. I don't know who you think I am. And that turned her off even more. Even more. So next thing you know, he mad because he was ready to get down and dirty. Like he said, he used to doing the wild thing on night 1. And here we are on night 2 or 3. And he's like, I don't waited long enough, Ingrid. You need to give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. All these people demanding sex. All these people demanding sex. And Ingrid said, no, I'm leaving. She done packed her bag. She done got outside, got in the car with the producers or someone. And she's saying, this is too much psychological pressure on me. This is too much. Ingrid's just here right now to finish out her contract obligation, to get a check. She ready to go home. This is a nightmare for Ingrid. She like, I thought I could do it, but I don't think I can do this no more. I don't think I can do this no more. So they driving her home. We'll see. Last time he made up with Ingrid by bringing her son a $5 gift and bringing her some roses. I don't know what he's going to have to do now. What is he going to have to do now to get Ingrid to still hang out with him and possibly let him put his tongue on her or rub some more lotion on her body? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. But anyway, that's all we got, y'all. That's all we got for 90 Day Fiancé. Come back. Be sure to come back tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a Mavs video, Married at First Sight. Season 18 is going. We're in Chicago, y'all. We in the Windy City. Let's hope it's good. Let's hope we got some good stuff going for Married at First Sight. And I will see y'all later. Bye.